Hello, and my name is Tami Fox. I'm a homeschool mom of 6 children. I've homeschooled for the past 17 years. 2 years ago, I wrote the book Giving Your Children Wings Without Losing Yours. And in that book, I talk about raising children, teaching them life skills, teaching them that it's important to bless our home by being clean and picking up behind ourselves and doing various tasks to make it peaceful in our homes. And this week, I have been giving you a daily tip on organizing and cleaning out your homeschool supplies and books and getting ready for a new school year. So we are just ending our school year, and I'm spending 15 minutes a day, sometimes two 15-minute a day projects, decluttering my school cabinet. This is my area where I do our homeschool. I have a spot at the kitchen table where I have this lovely cabinet. The doors close. I haven't closed them in the videos, I don't believe, but my doors close, and that way no one can see the books when we're not doing school. But when it's school time, the cabinet's open, everything is accessible. And throughout this week, I've talked about decluttering this shelf where the boys' books are for their daily work, my resource shelf, which is the next shelf above, and then also this top shelf where I have more craft supplies and math manipulatives. So over the course of the first 3 days this week, I have decluttered those areas, and it's time to start on the drawers. Now I'm going to give you a little view down here. You see I have 3 drawers, and in those 3 drawers I have a lot of office supplies. I have paper, construction paper, stickers, rubber bands, you name it. When you need a manipulative to do an art project, it's generally going to be in one of these 3 drawers. And it's also where I store the stapler, the scissors, the rulers, the protractors, the compass. So when they're doing math and they need something to do one of their math lessons, it's right here near us. I even still have my little Judy clock. And for those of you with young kids, you know what I'm talking about, right? I have my little clock. Still have not decluttered that because you never know when you might need to talk about time again, even though my youngest is 10. So I still have my little Judy clock, and I have a few other younger type manipulatives because sometimes it's fun just to get them out and play with them. And I also have my printer here nearby, so whenever we're working and I need to print something, it's close to me. So I've set up a nice little working area so that I don't have to go very far to find things when we need them, and I keep them put away and organized. Now this top drawer is the one that gets the most use. It has my highlighters, my whiteboard markers, it has scissors, it has the stapler, staple remover, hole punch, all that kind of stuff. But it's also the top drawer, so you guys know what happens to the top drawer of anything. It gets dumped in because it's the easiest drawer to open, throw something in, close the drawer, and move on. So this drawer by the end of the school year is pretty full. Sometimes it's even hard to close. There's so much stuff in there. So I spent 2 15-minute sessions getting rid of paper out of here, putting things in different areas because I didn't need them all in this top drawer. I couldn't access everything easily. So for 15 minutes, I'll give you a little bit better view of the drawer. I decluttered one side of the drawer, and then I decluttered the other side of the drawer. I used a little file box to keep my little index cards in that I use for notes. I put my sticky notes in there. And I'll show you what that one looks like because I do a lot of different teaching times using these note cards. And then I like to have sticky notes to put little notes here and there. So that just goes really nicely in my little box, and my little box fits in my drawer. And I have a nice system here, and I know where things are, and the boys know where things are whenever they need to have resources for doing their stuff. The next drawer down is pretty much cardstock, construction paper, forms, coloring pages, that kind of stuff. I also had chocolate in here, but don't tell anybody. And then the bottom drawer, I keep colored pencils. I keep the big pieces of cardstock. You know, they make like the really long, big pieces, and I don't know what size they are. They're probably 18 inches by, I don't know. I'm not very good with numbers, with giving estimates, but it's the really big pieces of cardstock. So for making posters, it comes out of this bottom drawer. We don't use this bottom drawer much. I keep the little plastic things in it that we make designs with rubber bands with our math. So there's just lots of little things down here, flashcards, journals for drawing, just different stuff like that. So these 3 drawers are very accessible, but out of the way whenever I want to do other things in my kitchen, like cook or eat. So it makes me happy to have things close by, but then they hide. And I just close my little doors every day when we finish school. And to me, that ends our school time. That kind of signals the boys that our school time is over for the day. And we'll see if we can get this door closed. There we go. And then we can move on to doing whatever else we need to do throughout that, the course of the afternoon. But that's just how I keep things organized and handy. I do keep paint for our art supplies in a different cabinet, mainly because I had little ones for many years, and I needed to keep the paint put up where they couldn't access it easily. And if you've got little ones, you know what I'm talking about. I keep Play-Doh, keep it in a different area. And then in the bedrooms, I keep bookshelves. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in the next video, because I do have bookshelves in several places in the house. I have 2 in my living room. I have 1 in between the living room and the kitchen. And then the boys have a big unit in their bedroom. And that pretty much is my bookshelves. There's a real tiny one in my bedroom, but there's not very many books kept there. Mostly they're in the living room and then in the boys' room. But what I'll do this week is I will go through those too, and I'll pull the ones that we've outgrown. I'll keep the classics because I'll probably want to let the grandchildren use those. But there are some books that we've read that we'll probably never read again. So I need to pass those on. I need to donate them to the library book sale, take them to the Boys and Girls Club, find someone who works with children who needs more books, because I don't need to keep all of these. And that's what I want to encourage you to do, is take a look around your house. How many books do you have? How many do you need? The person with the most books in their house is not necessarily the one who's going to win the race. You want to teach your children how to read, research, write papers, but you don't have to have 1,000 books in your house to do that. You can use resources and pass them on and bless others. Books are big dust collectors in our homes. So let's release some of those. We'll have less to dust, we'll have less dust in our home, and we'll have more space for other things. So let's work together on decluttering just a little at a time. Use your timer, spend 15 minutes. It is not a big deal. You do not have to dump out entire cabinets and entire baskets. If you homeschool in a different way, organizationally wise, I know not everyone does something with a cabinet. Spend 15 minutes, however it is you've organized your books, and go through them. See if there's a different way that you might need to organize. Were your children able to find their books this year? Did they have trouble every day getting their books out? You want to give them the tools to be successful students. They need to know how to get their books out, do their work, put their books away. The next day, they need to be able to find those books. So give them the tools they need. I've talked to lots of women who have used the rolling carts with the different colored shelves. For some children, those work beautifully. For other children, it becomes just an albatross. There's just too much stuff in it, and they never put the things back in the right bins, and the toddler comes along and just pulls drawers and dumps. So look at how you're organizing. Is it working for you and your family? If not, as you're decluttering, start thinking of ways to set up differently. Have a great day. Follow me on my blog at tamifox.net or email me at tammy@tamifox.com with your questions or comments. I've had fun this week talking to you, cleaning out my cabinet, and getting ready to enjoy summer. So I will talk to you tomorrow.